Today, we're going to tackle a phrase that is so simple to say, but surprisingly difficult to actually do. We're going to dive into Giovanni Carrazza's framework for breaking out of our mental routines and, finding a way to be genuinely creative.
Oh, you've heard this a million times, right? From a boss, a teacher, maybe you've even told it to yourself. It's supposed to be this magic bullet for innovation, but let's be honest, most of the time it just leaves you feeling kinda stuck, staring at a blank wall. Exactly. If it were that easy, we'd all be doing it all the time. But here's the good news. There's actually a method to the madness, a way to understand what the box even is, and, more importantly, a practical technique to find the way out. So, let's start mapping our escape route.
Okay, first things first. Before we can even dream of escaping the box, we gotta figure out what it actually is. It's not our entire mind or anything like that. It's way more specific, and it's something we all build for ourselves.
Think of it like this. Your box is your cozy little comfort zone of knowledge. It's basically the sum of everything you've learned and experienced. Everything inside feels safe, it feels logical, it feels correct. Everything outside, well, that's just invisible, unknown territory.
So, these walls are built from 4 key things. It starts with our genetics, our heritage. Then it's shaped by our environment and our culture. After that, it gets reinforced by everything we learn in school or from books, all the stuff other people figured out. And finally, it's cemented in place by our own life experiences, our successes, and our failures. All of this together creates what Carrazza calls an anthill, this comfortable little mound where our thinking just loves to live. So, if it's so comfortable and safe in there, why on earth would we want to leave? Well, in the world we live in today, it's not really a luxury anymore. It's becoming a flat-out necessity.
I mean, just think about it for a second. We are all connected, all the time. We're all nodes in this massive global network, constantly sharing and seeing the exact same information. So if we all know the same stuff, what makes our contribution unique? What actually sets any of us apart?
And this is the heart of it right here. Creativity isn't just about coming up with a new product for a company. It's about what we do with all that shared information. It's about our identity. It's about our human dignity. It's what makes you, well, you. And this really highlights the challenge, doesn't it? Staying inside the box, it's safe, your reputation is protected, everyone agrees with you. But stepping outside, whoa, that's risky, it's uncomfortable, and it puts your reputation right on the line. So we need a key. We need a way to manage that risk.
All right, so let's talk about that key. This is the practical technique for actually getting out. This isn't about sitting around waiting for a lightning bolt of inspiration to strike. It's a real, repeatable process for unlocking that door to the outside.
Here's the recipe. First, you start with what everybody already knows, the dominant ideas, the requirements, the rules. This is your convergent information. Then, you add a little spice. You deliberately introduce some divergent information, something that seems wrong, or absurd, or completely irrelevant. And it's that weird combination that actually builds a bridge, a pathway from what you already know to something you haven't even thought of yet.
So, you've used the key, you've crossed the border, awesome. But now comes the really hard part, staying out there long enough for an idea to actually form, without just sprinting back to the safety of the box.
Because once you're out there, you're just kind of floating. There's no map. An idea might feel weird or nonsensical. And that temptation to just say, this is stupid, and go back to what works, it is incredibly strong. We have to learn to resist that urge.
And the tool for resisting that temptation is something Carrazza calls long thinking. Now, it's not about being fast or even being deep. It's about duration. It's the ability to just hold a strange concept in your mind without immediately judging it as good or bad. It's kind of like listening to music. You don't analyze every single note as it plays, right? You just let the whole thing wash over you and see where it takes you.
All right, this all sounds pretty cool in theory, but what does it actually look like in the real world? Let's walk through a super quick example just to make it a little more concrete.
Okay, let's try to reimagine a TEDx conference. Convergent info. What do we know? We know it needs a grand setting, like a theater. Now for the fun part, the divergent modifier. Let's exaggerate it. What if it was in a stadium? Sounds ridiculous at first, right? But with a little long thinking, you might land on a new idea like holding TEDx talks during halftime at football games. Or take the most important part, brilliant speakers. What if we just eliminate them? Totally absurd, but that could lead you to a cooperative TEDx where one speaker delivers another person's script, completely taking the ego out of it. See how that works?
So
Thinking outside the box, it isn't some mystical gift that only a few people have. It's a skill. It's something you can actually learn. It's all about combining what you know with a little touch of the absurd and then having the courage to just follow that strange new path for a while. So the only question left is, what part of your world is waiting for a divergent idea?